Welcome to episode 11. So as we can see, not much has changed in terms of territory gained. The Axis does have some parts of Czechoslovakia now, but the first Vienna award didn't trigger, as it seems. Usually, I had a look, it should trigger in 38, in October, actually. At least that's what the wiki says. So I'm not sure if this will happen at some point. Hungary is not part of the Axis yet, neither is Bulgaria, and neither is Turkey. Turkey usually doesn't come in, as far as I'm aware. They do not want to be at war with the Soviets. So I'm not sure if we should wait, or if we should just go into Tibet. And the same with Sinkiang, really. Because I'd rather not have them in the Allies, or in the Comintern. That said, Sinkiang is drifting away from the Soviet Union, so that's fine. And the same goes for Tibet. That's... okay, apparently it is drifting towards the Comintern right now because they're influencing them, but... it's aligning. Great. Yeah. That's still useless. There's also some production going here. Let's just start the game. So, we still have some stuff in the queue. The militia divisions here might help with some of our neighbors. The airbase here is really just in here to be finished, and afterwards I will drop it down. Zhengzhou or North Zhengzhou. I don't think we need it specifically right now. So let's put this right at the top, and afterwards I will drop it. And this stuff here. So we will build some of the anti-aircraft guns here, just because it's available. That's about it. In terms of research and intelligence, well, let's have a look at our technologies. We're still doing the battle cruiser stuff. We're not doing the anti-aircraft armament. This is okay-ish. I'm fine with that right now. Espionage, we might be able to drop that a little bit. And out of the sample, combat medicine will be ready pretty soon. There's some research going here that we could use. But most of it requires some upgrades, and well, in terms of upgrades, we have a long way to go. So, either we gotta finish the production and wrap up this production cycle, or we will need to focus on upgrades at some point prior to having some sort of conflict that doesn't include a lot of production. But we know for sure that there's at least 2 battle cruisers coming here and additional screeners. Most likely more. So there's no specific idea yet about when the upgrades will be done. We should also have a look at politics at this point, because there's a lot of new leaders. So all of these are more or less rubbish. We are in the Axis, so it doesn't matter much anymore. This guy though gives intel during peace. Intel is always good. If we can get some. We still want to have the resources, I think. We now have somebody available from the Protect the Emperor Society. Not sure if we want to include him though. Yeah, we would have Bunker Min be part of the Chinese Youth Party. I'm not 100% sure which party he belongs to, so let's just keep it as it is. This guy does provide political intel too. How many seats do we have? 7. So this means 3 seats should go towards somebody else. Who would that be? No. One seat should go towards a democratic, well, the Social Conservative Party. We cannot do this, but we could. Supply consumption reduction is fine. I like this one though. We have a problem with the decay of infantry practical. So that's certainly a thing. That said, supply consumption is always a concern, so whatever. We will include this guy in favor of the other one. Just, I think that should settle the affair with the cabinet positions for now. And we will also include this one, medium bombers, in case the Chinese Youth Party ever gets a certain amount of popularity, which is unlikely. There's no national socialist politicians for us, so we can't do much about that. But this should, at least I'm hoping that this removes the fractured government modifier, which is an annoying one. Combat medicine, we will leave it in. We will leave it in. Civil defense will be ready pretty soon. Additional rare refining techniques. What's happening over there? Would you be willing to join, please? So, this is not very threatening. They are drifting away. Still trying to find some additional way to trade with them, but they are absolutely unwilling to. No. No way. Seems like some of the anti-aircraft guns got finished pretty soon. That's fine. And all of this stuff will not take forever, I think. This can go away now. Perfect. We can have an additional core of militia. So, where is it needed? I guess Tibet is done. Force-wise, we could use it towards Xinjiang. Yeah, Xinjiang. Or Sinkiang, however you want to pronounce it. So, let's put some additional militia up here. Let's take these. And move them all down here. Now there should be 5 divisions here without a leader that could use an HQ. Put some leaders in. HQ on top. And put it towards the Western Army. Sure, this guy. And we will name it Urumqi Militia Corps. which requires 3 additional militia brigades. We probably need some more, don't we? I'll just put it to 9. I think we need like 20 or 30, though. This guy could use 1. This guy could use 3. This guy could use a few. This guy could use a few. Yeah, we need a lot of militia. If we want to staff all the HQs on top. That's great. They are probably more important than all of this air defense stuff. I do like the air defense stuff, though. There should be an option to put it up like 5 slots or something. It's only all the way top that's available. Why not? Like this. Fine. No problem with espionage just yet. Let's have a look into this now. Yeah, this needs to be settled. Same as this. That's fine. I don't like this. Look, there's a crime fighter in there now. So most of the countries included some counter-espionage at this point. None too heavy. With the exception of the United Kingdom. We are fighting to get rid of them, though. And, well, this is probably not correct, but it seems like the NSDAP in Germany has some control of the country. A lot, actually. Italy, that could do with some improvement. Units out of supply, okay. That will sort itself out now. Did we? No, we didn't. We qualify for 7 positions. This is 1. The rest, I think, is not important. So, does this mean that we cannot have more than 7 positions to get rid of the fractured government stuff? Let's try. So, that's 4. That should settle it. Apparently it doesn't. That or we need to wait for the day to skip over. There's a rule to this. I just don't get it anymore. I knew that at some point. No. Not this one. I don't know. But there is a rule to this. Japan also didn't attack yet. Which either means that we have a lot of forces here, but more likely they just don't want to attack the entire axis. And if I look at Japan right now, well, they're sitting right on top. So we didn't push them away in any way. There might be this weird scenario where Japan gets included into the Axis and we attack them anyway and declare a limited war on them, because I want to get back our course. So there's no army group between here. Just the army, no army group. We might as well include one. We have the leaders, that's for sure. We don't need the army group, but might provide some bonuses. Somebody like this. It's not much. It's only logistics. Who cares though? So now we call this... I guess this is the Northern Army Group. So if this is Army Group North, this is Army Group West. I call the armies the same way, right? Yeah. Don't need that. Civil defense is also way too high. Combat medicine, sure, we could use that. Light bomb development as well as artillery, carriage and sights. That's fine. All of this battle cruiser stuff needs to be finished ASAP. I'll drop some garrison here now. We want to get in there once France attacks us. Obviously France attacks us, not the other way around. Yeah, so the officer ratio more or less stabilized. I don't think we'll get much more in terms of percentage as long as we're producing units along the way. We do have a lot of officers now though. We definitely do. People's Army, well, that helps a little bit. Might as well leave it in, right? Who cares? Sure, and land combat experience seems reasonable at this point. So we can start to work on the doctrines. The additional garrisons give so much militia practical. This didn't get resolved. Well, we qualify for 7 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I think this is the way it should work, but I'm not sure anymore. I would need to take a look at the wiki how this works. Great. Let's get this sorted. This will not do in case the United Kingdom decides it's time for an invasion. That destroyer will be finished pretty soon. And I think it's quite clear at this point that this event either it did happen and the AI decided against it, or I don't know, maybe they backed down or something. I'm not sure. So it might be needed that we declare war on Czechoslovakia ourselves. Also, Yugoslavia is still around. That cannot stand. But this is a common problem. This is a common approach. Yugoslavia not being attacked. This all seems reasonable. Seems to be there's a few problems with intelligence now. This is all fine. I wasn't aware that Italy's industrial capacity is so low. I don't think that's true. Probably not a good idea. Come to think of it. So which of the two has priority? Sinkiang most likely. We just want to puppet them. We could conquer them. But whatever happens, they are... Great. They are the gateway to the underbelly of the Soviet Union. I don't know about the value of those. There's some resources here though. Not sure about industrial capacity, probably some too. There's oil in here. Strategic resources are over here. That's furs, isn't it? Yeah, it's fur. So, in case we get Sinkiang, which is likely, at least I'm open for it, we can probably push some forces into the Soviet Union once it's needed. Or just collect some and bind some forces. This is getting awfully low. Also, I think 20 points diplomacy are probably enough. Let's not overdo it. So we need to wait until May for the new ships to be started. There's some militia that will come over this year. Well, it's not this year and not this month, it's in April. All of this anti-aircraft stuff works. Seems fine. Do we need additional militia somewhere? I guess we could use them around Yunnan. And just accept the fact that there's no mountaineers available here. So let's do that. No leader whatsoever. Let's attach them to a new HQ. Put this one... well, nowhere, I think. Let's put them to Beiping. Same as this. Kunming doesn't have a militia yet. Okay. So we will put additional militia divisions onto this HQ, and afterwards we're done with Yunnan, more or less. That should be enough to conquer them in case it's needed. Finally. Finally. That settles the affair. So now there's an additional puppet here, and contrary to Ethiopia, this puppet might survive. So we'll put in spies to support the ruling party, which I cannot pronounce. France is mobilizing. Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sure, they can mobilize all they want though. Still feeling threatened by us for some reason. Why would you be threatened by nationalist China? And now we will talk about Danzig, won't we? There's bombers here. So who's more prone to join? Well, I think we determined this previously. Poland is an Allies member? Poland is an Allies member? Poland is an Allies member. Oh well. Tibet isn't though. Yeah, so out of the sample of neighbors, Yunnan is unlikely to join anyone. They'll just go down. Portugal is... It's possible that they join someone, but not right now. There is one province owned by Portugal that we want to reclaim. We will not be able to defeat the entirety of Portugal though, so we will just need to occupy that. Tibet, yeah, they're running towards the Allies, but that will not happen anytime soon, I think. Sinkiang, on the other hand, I would love for them to get away from the Comintern a bit more. That, or we need to just wash over them. And I think at this point it's probably a good idea to visit our neighbors, isn't it? Yeah, some other forces have been... some other countries have been included in the Allies. I don't like that very much. Where is... There's the militia corps. Put them in here. Put one of these units up here, maybe. Additional garrison. Where can we put that one? Maybe here. No. We'll just attach it to the theater. Finally finish that fighter and then move on. We need more fighters. Not enough. Oh, the intelligence department looks worrying. Is this just due to Slovakia being... Well, it might be. They want to buy crude oil? Sure. I guess that's fine. We do not specifically need it, right? Still drifting towards the Axis. Gotta be careful. They might be included in the Axis at some point, but I think we can still declare limited war on them. No matter what happens. That's not ready yet. They are not prepared enough. Ooh. Capital ship practical declined a little bit too. The approach to build cruisers, heavy cruisers as well as light cruisers, relies on one practical only. Probably the better approach from that perspective. And Canada just joined the Allies. 3 points of counter-espionage. So who mobilized? France? Somebody else. Not the United Kingdom though, is it? That's a brigade. Let's put it at a militia corps. This will be ready pretty soon. Drifting mostly towards Soviet Union. We don't get any money for supplies anymore. Well, that's not a problem. Let's open an additional one. Here we go. Finally. Okay. Yeah, no. Please tell me this doesn't cost fuel. Probably the wrong leader though. Yeah, better. I'm not sure if air intercept them without any aviation approaching. Oh! We can now build escort carriers, which we will not do. But thank you very much, Japan. A lot of espionage now. We will tour things around. Yeah, that'll not do. Netherlands are still fine, New Zealand is still okay, Philippines is still okay. Romania doesn't have any spies anymore, neither does South Africa. Sweden, nah. That's okay. Okay. So spies are starting to increase a little bit. April 39. Yeah, sure. That's great. That's great too. That will result in a lot of upgrades. Yes, it will. Heavy AA guns. That will not need to be upgraded. So, there's only Poland missing, right? And we really do not need to wait for Germany to get that stuff sorted. So, let's see what happens. Let's try to get rid of Sinkiang. And Tibet later on. Sinkiang will probably not finish today though, will it? I want to puppet these. Let's go. This is where we find out that our militia is really weak. Oh, laws. Immediately, some of the laws need to be changed. For example, specialist training here. This is okay, but this can go away. Production should take some more time, I think. Yeah, no problems here. Okay, so now we're at war. Great. Formally speaking, at least. Yeah, we're a little bit threatening there. There's some reinforcement going on. We should probably prioritize production at this point. Forget about reinforcement. Who wants to reinforce anyway? Nah, I do not want to buy fuel, sorry. Not bad. And now the United States are in the Allies. Well, shit. As expected. Well, given these circumstances, we might as well overdo it. And get into Tibet too. For good measure. No, thank you very much. We will come though, at some point. That was an easy one. Yeah, this will take forever. Maybe... Can you please go down here? And pump the shit out of them too. Here we go. That's probably fine. Does he find anyone at all? They're all relocating right now. Oh. And spies. Alright. This is where I wanted it to be. Let's put this down to 3. And let's see if we can finish our visit with the neighbors. This seems to take a while. The aviation might have an impact though. Huh. Oh man. This will take forever. And apparently Japan is not that interested in us. Also, we'll lose an energy. Okay. We will win this one though. It might take forever, but we will win this one. Do they gain experience as a mountaineer or something too? I don't know, maybe. That's a lot of anti-aircraft guns. And some of these production runs will be finished sooner rather than later. Apparently we won the battle. Great. How's he doing? That's not enough. No, thank you very much. I do not want to have access to your territory. Additional militia, that's an entire division though. Here. Okay. That should work. Bombers coming up, garrison coming up, some additional anti-aircraft guns. That's all there was to do. We're here. Apparently that's all there is to it. Okay. Well, this will take forever. It's May. But this will still take forever. Tibet is not exactly accessible, right? We still have a fractured government. I do not understand why, though. Oh. Well, that's not great. We still need 165 in production. Maybe 10 or 20. Heavy AA guns, yeah. We can just keep them running. This officer ratio is more or less fine. We can use a lot more though. This down here is probably okay. Airbase in Wuhan. Can you finally get in there? Well, at some point. Let's try this, won't we? So, if we air intercept for this province too, will it change the amount of fuel consumed? An additional garrison. They will no longer have our crude oil. Yeah, we can use it ourselves. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Germany's still at peace, right? They are. And I will definitely not call them to arms. Additional garrison, that's even 2. Okay. Look at that, 2.63 I see now. This is also due to efficiency, but again, really cheap. And 17 spies. Okay, we don't need that much. What was that? Battlecruiser armor. Yeah, just keep it coming. Same with the engine and the capital ship armament. Given that we do not have the capacity right now to produce them, we should probably start them though. And all of a sudden, we have some experience in naval engineering. Great. Yeah, we probably won that one, right? Okay. So, what are you doing standing around here? Let's get in there. At half strength. Maybe some reinforcements would be a good idea. Seems to be going well though. Did they get attacked by somebody? Apparently, the ground troops have the audacity to fire back at them. Well, in that case, we need to repair some of it, right? So we might as well reinforce them. We probably won't need to attack Lhasa anymore, don't we? So let's get in there. For an additional bombing run. Probably not over there, though. That's close. The twin engine airframe has been researched. Fine. That unit will drop. This one though, this one too. This percentage indicator is misleading, I think. In this case. We might just have a little problem up here. Not the cakewalk that I expected. So let's not grind them to the bone. Let's just wait a bit. Also for the additional units to come in here. What are you doing? Resting? There's no rest. No rest for the wicked. They are more or less inside that province, not that it matters much. This is hills, this is mountains, so... not bad. 62. Yeah. Well, I thought we might have a chance to finish this in this episode, but apparently we don't. Also, Japan is really peaceful for now. They still control a lot of our territory, though. I will not do. Oh, that's great. We can use that. Fantastic. I like that. Yeah. We can probably at this point start to research the basic stuff from 36. Also the not so basic stuff from 39. 120 additional manpower needed. Okay. They're getting the hang of it, so. Still bombing. Can we at least get Tibet done? Apparently not. So, obviously you can push the slider here towards a even faster tempo. But I'd like to be in control of that stuff. So, let's just wrap up the episode here. We paid a visit to the neighbors. A lot of countries joined the Allies. I do not like that very much, but we'll get it sorted. Hopefully. And if we don't, the Americans might just pay us a visit. Whatever happens. At least we will have Tibet and Sinkiang long term. Yeah. That's it for now. I will see you all in the next episode.